Welcome to Moose Plays, everyone. I'm the Liquor Moose, and today the PDL's back. We were on hiatus. We're back. Holidays were great. Exams went well. So now we're back for playoffs. So in case you don't know, it's a double elimination bracket with cut to top 8. We did do 7 and 10. Do a wild card playoff game to determine the true 7th place. Same thing with 8 and 9 to determine the true 8th place. Those matches have been completed, so now we have finally done. We're finally in the top 8 cut. We ended in 5th place in the season. A little underwhelming for my standards, but I can't really complain because from 2nd to 5th, which is me, we were all 10 and 4 with with only differential separating us. So it shows how like fierce the competition was this year. Like the competition was stepped up massively compared to season 2. So for our playoff round 1 match, we are facing off against Mark, aka the coach of Flavortown, featuring Guy Fieri. And let me tell you, his team is scary. I'll go over it right now. So his team consists of Hoopa Unbound, Tyranitar, Darmanitan, Tentacruel, Dewblade, Donphan, Electros, Crobat, Sock, Trevenant, Roserade, and Mega Altaria. His Z alternates are the Hoopa Unbound and Tyranitar, and his Z captain is the Roserade. I would also like to point out, yes, this is a team builder video. Probably should have put that at the beginning of the video, but oh well. You don't really know how much you miss something until it's gone. I really did like making the team builder videos. I thought they were interesting, and the whole point of me switching to the post-com thing was to make my videos a little more viewer-friendly. And with how much time I was spending on the on a team preview, on like explaining my teams, basically it warranted me to make more team builder videos. So I figured, you know what, it's playoffs. I'm most likely not going to play Mark again after this battle. If I do, then I guess that's my own fault for doing this. But hey, I really do like making the team builder videos, so I hope you guys enjoy watching them and enjoy my explaining. So, anyways, now that you see his team on screen, by far his biggest threats, Hoopa Unbound and Mega Altaria together are extremely difficult to prepare for. So, like, it's just, they're so potent together, and they do just so many things. Granted, I think Mark's gotten into a place where he pretty much scarfs Hoopa all the time. Mega Altaria, he does like D-Dance, but last time I played him, Agility Mega Altaria just wrecked me. Like, it single-handedly lost me the match. Granted, I know I did misplay, and I know I could have at least made it a little closer. Not entirely sure if I would have won. But there was a way for me to at least kill that Mega Altaria and me to get back in the game, and I did misplay for it, so I know now to watch for it. His Darmanitan, obviously, is a huge wall breaker. Just Flare Blitz, Life Orb, that's really all you need. Sometimes he runs Banded just to add that extra power. Donphan, a very, very reliable spinner, same with Tentacruel. He has 2 very reliable spinners, which are good, and he has both the Tentacruel and the Crobat as relatively decent answers to my Mega Lopunny. I think since the last time we played him, I think he might have picked up Sock and Trevenant. I don't remember. What's definitely different about last time is that he switched his Z captain. Originally he had it on Crobat. He realized that was a big mistake because Crobat doesn't really do well with Z moves. And after asking me for some advice, I told him Roserade was definitely the one to put it on, just because for 2 reasons. Obviously, Z Bloom Doom with Leaf Storm as the base is a really powerful grass nuke, and Z Sleep Powder acts like the same thing as Z Hypnosis from a Xurkitree, so it puts the opponent to sleep, and you still get a +1 speed boost. So some decent threats. The Mega Altaria is obviously a big one. Another one I didn't really mention, Electros, just pretty much can do whatever he wants. It can be so bulky with the Assault Vest. What I expect him to bring, I do expect him to bring a very similar team to last time. And excuse me. And last time he brought Scarf Hoopa Unbound, defensive Tyranitar, Darmanitan that he said wasn't scarfed. I'm not too sure about it. Tentacruel, defensive Crobats, and the Agility Mega Altaria. So I'm expecting something very similar, but I still had to prep my team in a way that I could be prepared for all of his threats. So let's go over my team right now. First of all, we have a debut for Team Bump and Dump is Kisame the Sharpedo. I just figured a mixed attacker would be pretty devastating towards his team, especially one where Sharpedo gets speed boost and can potentially outspeed the Mega Altaria at +2. We have enough speed on our Sharpedo to outspeed at +1. It outspeeds everything up to a Scarfed Sock. I would need to get to +2 to outspeed Scarfed Darmanitan just because I don't want to risk the speed tie, and I think the 80 points invested in attack for the Earthquake come in very handy, as it's able to pick up the Oko easier on physically defensive Tentacruel. But otherwise we're running Dark Pulse, Surf, Ice Beam as a special. I decided on special because like a lot of his threats want to be more physically oriented just because of my team. Just in general. For example, he is most likely going to run either physically defensive Tentacruel and physically defensive Crobat. This will have a much easier time picking up KOs against that. I really only need the Earthquake for the Tentacruel. Obviously, it can hit the Doublade on a switch, but really it's just there for Tentacruel. It can sort of dent the Tyranitar, but again, Tentacruel was like the hard stop to this, that's why it needed Earthquake. Another reason to run special, mostly on this, is because his Doublade puts a really big stop on a physical Sharpedo. However, Dark Pulse on a max HP, no Spadef, Eviolite Doublade, Dark Pulse on this set is a guaranteed Oko. That's why that's a big reason why special Sharpedo was like kind of the one I wanted to go with. And Surf and Ice Beam just to hit the rest of the things. Surf actually, like the thing with this Sharpedo is that it has a very high potential to 2-hit KO most of his Pokemon. I would say the only things that it has a problem with in general is just the Electros if it's Assault Vested. If it's not Assault Vested, then I think Surf is a 2-hit KO, but otherwise Electros could prove to be a problem for Kisame here. On another note with the speed, yes, I could potentially speed creep the Roserade. However, I actually don't see him bringing Roserade this time around because I have 2 potential walls to his Roserade in both Skarmory and Heatran, in which he cannot run 2 hidden powers for. Both of them, both Skarmory and Heatran 4 times resist Roserade's Grass Stab and are immune to his Poison Stab. Oh, Jesus, I'm sorry. I'm just kind of like burping, I don't really know why. Anyways, Skarmory Heatran, immune to Poison Stab, 4 times resist Grass Stab, so he either needs Hidden Power Ground to hit Heatran and Hidden Power Fire to hit Skarmory. So because there's 2 potential walls there, I really don't see Roserade coming. It just does not have a good matchup against me. Even with Seismitoad on my team, he's already shown that he will run Giga Drain on his Tentacruel instead of just bringing Roserade. So that's why I didn't really speed creep for the Roserade. I only went for the Sock, which was the next closest thing. But yeah, so that's Sharpedo. Hopefully it does well in this debut. I'm really looking forward to using it. Next up we have Galactus the Haxorus. So last time I ran Choice Scarf Haxorus because it was able to outspeed Scarf Darmanitan and then Oko with Earthquake. I realized that like being locked into one move against Mark's team is not very good, especially when I'm going for Dragon moves a lot, since he has a very safe switch into his Mega Altaria. So what I'm doing instead is I'm running a D-Dance set with Earthquake, Poison Jab, Dragon Claw, and Poisonium Z. The goal of this set is switch it in on something that it could potentially kill without a boost. When Mark switches out, I set up, and then I run Rampant against Mark's team. I need the Poisonium Z at +1 in order to guarantee the Oko on the Altaria. Otherwise, I originally did have Dragonium Z on here to potentially get the Dragon Claw. Oh, right. +1 Z Dragon Claw was able to OHKO Tyranitar, like an offensive Tyranitar. But Earthquake, +1 Earthquake already has a chance to OHKO Tyranitar, so I think I'm gonna stick with that. It's a really good chance. I think it's like it's over 80% chance. So with Rocks, it's a guarantee OHKO. That's another thing that I'll get into a bit, but Rocks are going to be really important for me to have in this matchup. Again, the same kind of EV spread. The speed is to outspeed max speed Darmanitan, and then a +1 I still outspeed a Scarf Darmanitan, which is potentially his fastest Scarfer, as Hoopa doesn't. Hoopa has a lower base speed than Darmanitan. So yeah, that's Haxorus. It's very similar to the Haxoruses I've brought the rest of the season. I'm hoping this one can do just as well. Next up, we have Lava Frog, the Heatran. So, like I said before, Agility Altaria really wrecked me last time. So last time he ran Agility, Earthquake, Hyper Voice, and Earthquake. No, sorry. Agility, Earthquake, Hyper Voice, Fire Blast. He needed both Fire Blast and Earthquake to hit both Skarmory and Heatran. However, what I did get over the break was I got some information from my friend Sean, who helped Mark team build. And apparently he said that the Earthquake on Mark's Altaria could not OHKO Heatran. So that makes me believe that he fully invested in Special Attack, and he probably ran a minus Spadef Nature, probably. So I figure that probably the best way to answer that is going to be a Shuckaberry Heatran. We're going to be carrying Flash Cannon, Lava Plume, Earth Power, Stealth Rock. This is what I'm going to have to switch into the Altaria, as it'll be immune to Fire Blast and resist Hyper Voice anyways. With the Shuckaberry on with this spread, I take a maximum of 42 from an uninvested Earthquake, a maximum of 42%. So the goal is, I'll explain the spread a little bit later, but the goal is to switch this in on the Altaria, assuming he like clicks an attack or clicks agility or whatever. And after he Earthquakes, I will just Flash Cannon and kill him. The reason this spread, so the special attack is here. With this much special attack and modest nature, I'm able to guarantee an OHKO on an Altaria that has a minus Spadef nature. Unfortunately, at max special attack with the modest nature, I can never guarantee an OHKO onto a neutral Spadef nature Altaria. So I just went with this investment. However, it is noteworthy that after Stealth Rocks, I can guarantee OHKO every variant of I can OHKO either variant of the Altaria. So whether it has a neutral Spadef nature or a minus Spadef nature, after Rocks I'll be able to kill it with Flash Cannon. So that's why Rocks are going to be very important in this matchup. So again, I have Flash Cannon here, specifically for that. And past that, I didn't really know what I wanted this Heatran to do. I figured that with this kind of bulk, maybe I'll just stick some attacks on, hopefully catch some stuff. So Earth Power is here for things like the Darmanitan, if I can switch it in on like a choiced Flare Blitz or something later in the game. And that's really about it. Oh no, sorry, the Tentacruel, that's a big one too. The Earth Power makes me hit the Tentacruel really hard too. And then Lava Plume, because I didn't want to risk the Fire Blast miss first of all. And Flamethrower, while it does have 10 more power, I think I would honestly just rather catch the 30% burn on the Lava Plume than I would the extra power. I think in the long run that'll be better, especially if I can hit one of his physical threats, obviously, like the Tyranitar would be the big one. Even just burning something like the Doublade or the Donphan would be great. So yeah, this is my Heatran. I'm really hoping that this set works out. I haven't gone through a practice period yet. I really want to go through a practice period though. Next up, we have Bitter Blossom the Azelf, and let me tell you, this set needs to put in work against Mark. This set is a little different. So, we're having a Choice Scarf Azelf with U-Turn, Psyshock, Dazzling Gleam, Shadow Ball. So, the big thing was, Hoopa pretty much always comes Scarf. Pretty much the only reason that Hoopa is even allowed in our league, and really any league that it's allowed in, is because it has a crap defense stat and is 4 times weak to U-Turn. So, the only way that I can really offensively check that is Scarf Azelf, U-Turn on him. It's gonna honestly it's going to be by far the best way to check him. However, I would like to point out this is not a good lead against him, assuming he brings the same team as last time. Last time he brought his lead was a defensive Tyranitar with his only attacking move being Pursuit, and Pursuit does OHKO. Even on a defensive Tyranitar, it does OHKO most variants of Azelf. So I cannot switch this in on U-Turn. Pretty much until Tyranitar dies, I pretty much have to always click U-Turn on Azelf, otherwise he can just easily Pursuit Trap me. And until both Tyranitar and Hoopa die, I can't lock myself into Psyshock, which is unfortunate because once you look past those two Pokemon, Azelf puts in so much work against Mark's team. Psyshock, I decided on Psyshock over Psychic. Mostly because there was kind of a back and forth between one always hits Tentacruel harder and one always hits Crobat harder. But the main one, there was a few other arguments that you can be made, Psyshock always hits Roserade harder, but again, I don't see him bringing Roserade. In the end, the main reason that I decided on Psyshock was because of the stupid Electros. If he brings Assault Vest on that thing, it's not a straight up wall, but all of my moves are 4-hit KOs at best on him. So if he runs Assault Vest, then Psyshock now becomes closer to probably closer to a 3-hit KO. It just does more damage onto an Assault Vest Electros than a Psychic would. So honestly, because Electros is so interchangeable, it's just a very plug-and-play Pokemon. Who knows, maybe he just changes up one Pokemon from his team against me last time and just throws an Electros instead. So I just felt like Psyshock, Electros was the defining factor for me choosing Psyshock over Psychic. Weird to say, I know. But other than that, we are running Dazzling Gleam in case he does decide to switch in Tyranitar or Hoopa, predicting a Psyshock. And then also hitting the Mega Altaria super effectively. And then finally adding Shadow Ball because, like I said before, Ghost Spam is really good if he doesn't have a lot of resistances to it. Now, unless I'm mistaken, I believe his resistance is Tyranitar. And that's it. So, if I just want good neutral damage, Shadow Ball, definitely the way to go. But other than that, a big reason for it, obviously, for Doublade. And bonus, it hits Trevenant, but it hits Doublade. That's why Shadow Ball's here. With this speed, I am outspeeding a Choice Scarf Darmanitan of this set. With Mark's speed tiers, he has... oh god, don't let me lie. With Mark's speed tiers, he has some 95 with Darmanitan, and then 100 at Tentacruel, and then 130 at Crobat. Those are his 3 fastest mods. Tentacruel will almost always be physically defensive, mostly because I have Lopunny on my team. Same thing with the Crobat, he's going to run physically defensive. So basically my goal is just outspeed. So my goal for speed creeping was to speed creep the max speed Darmanitan instead, because I really don't see him running speed on either Tentacruel or Crobat when he needs them. But yeah, one last thing to note about this set was that originally, even Showdown normally makes it that even if you have U-Turn, but if that's your only attacking move, it'll still give you 0 attack IVs. I had to put it up to 31 again, just specifically because at 0 attack IVs and Modest Nature, I can't guarantee the OHKO on Hoopa Unbound. But with 31 I can, so that's why it's up there. I did look it up. his only foul play users are, they are Hoopa and Tyranitar and Trevenant. Now, I don't really see Trevenant coming, and Hoopa and Tyranitar are obviously going to run other Dark-type moves, like Tyranitar probably will run Pursuit, and if he brings an attacking one, it will probably be Crunch. And Hoopa obviously gets like a plethora of things. It's not going to run Foul Play when it could run Dark Pulse or Hyperspace Fury, or whatever the Dark one of the Hyperspace attacks are. Whereas Trevenant, if it does come, I don't expect it to come, but if it does come and it brings Foul Play, the difference of me having 31 and 0 IVs in attack actually don't make a difference. Honestly, it's still a 2-hit KO either way. So I was perfectly fine with doing this. So yeah, that's Azelf. I really expect Better Blossom to put in a lot of work this game. Next up, we have Gamakichi, the Seismitoad. No Assault Vest this time. I normally tended to bring, it's kind of a meme to myself anyways, that I brought Assault Vest Seismitoad. But once again, I really needed the defensive check to his Darmanitan. That thing hits really hard. Last time he did expect me to bring Mudsdale instead of Seismitoad. I still don't agree with that. Yeah, Mudsdale's stamina booster, like, that's cool and all, but ultimately, Seismitoad resists Flare Blitz, Mudsdale does not, and overall, Seismitoad is going to be taking less damage as a result. So, because I'm running Fizdef, I'm definitely giving him leftovers. Again, with the relaxed nature, because he has another weird drop in speed, I believe. So he has the, he has the Roserade at 90, well, he has the Darmanitan at 95, the Roserade at 90, the Hoopa at 80, and then it drops to Darmanitan, after the Hoopa at 80, it drops to Tyranitar at 61. He has nothing between Tyranitar and his base 80 Pokemon, because he has both Hoopa and Mega Altaria. He has nothing between there. So a minus speed nature still makes me outspeed a no-speed Tyranitar, in case he does run the defensive one again. And again, since rocks are really important this round, need the Stealth Rock. Knockoff, it's knockoff. It's obviously going to be good. Scald, same thing. Like, I mean, you gotta fish for burns when you can. Like, Scald is like just the best move in the game, just regardless. It's the best move in the game that isn't like a signature move. So, like, you know, you could obviously argue that, like, V-Create's better than Scald, but, like, only one Pokemon gets V-Create, so it's not that big of a deal. And then lastly, we're running Earthquake, because, again, this Seismitoad has a really hard time hitting, specifically hitting the Tentacruel, as I saw that was kind of his switch into it last time. Mostly because, like, I can switch in safely on the Scald, and then I'll probably Scout for the Giga Drain as well. What's most like, because he went straight for that last time. Unfortunately, he got a crit on the Seismitoad last time when he clicked Giga Drain, and that immediately it didn't kill me, but it did immediately reveal that I was vested. Whereas, like before, from the damage, obviously he would have saw that I was vested, but I would have been able to take more than one hit from the Giga Drain, and it just overall would have been better. So what I'm most likely going to do if I switch this in onto Tentacruel, absorb the Scald, I'm probably going to Scout for the Giga Drain and switch into probably Haxorus, as that can pretty easily OHKO with Earthquake, and then that'll be my chance to set up. But yeah, so that's Seismitoad. I think he'll still play a very crucial role in this match. Now, last up, we have Lola Bunny, Mega Lopunny. This was a very difficult call to make on this one. Like, obviously Mega Lop is a big threat against whatever team because it's just so good. But he had really good prep for it with Crobat last time, making it physically defensive and holding Rocky Helmet. So I know that he ran like max HP, max def. So that means he doesn't run speed on it. So I'm running like close to no speed on my Mega Lopunny, and I'm gonna see what that does for me. The 48 points here in speed ensure that I outspeed a non-Scarf Darmanitan. That's the goal of this one, because apparently he said he wasn't he didn't bring Scarf last time. I don't know how much I believe him, but I'm going to put those EVs in there just in case he decides to bring the same Darmanitan again. But past that, I am going to be going towards Fake Out, even though I don't have Toxic this time, because like that was how I was able to kill that's how I was able to kill the Mega Altaria last time. I do still think that having the Fake Out priority is important. I might change it to Quick Attack, I'm not sure. You know what, maybe that's better. Yeah, without Toxic Stall, yeah, okay. Live team building. We're gonna live team build. We're gonna add Quick Attack to this. Wait, oh, okay, never mind. Hold on, sorry everyone. Alright, we're gonna add Quick Attack to this instead. But yeah, so, because there's no Toxic Stall, I think Quick Attack on this is better, just to ensure the priority whenever I need it. But past that, because we're running a bulky one, the main things I need High Jump Kick for, Drain Punch can still do, specifically the Tyranitar. Drain Punch still does OHKO all offensive variants of Tyranitar, so I'm okay with that. Plus, with how bulky I am, I do think the health gaining back from Drain Punch is going to be necessary. Power Up Punch for when he, for like if I want to try either revenging something or he tries to switch out and I can get a boost. The big gamble with this one though is that if he is an offensive Crobat, like I guess that it'll be like a different way. He'll play his Crobat differently if he's offensive rather than he's defensive. So like if he's offensive, he's not going to switch in on the Mega Lopunny because I'm pretty sure that's close to an OHKO with return. But it's noteworthy that even a defensive Crobat with Brave Bird can still do like close to 90% to Mega Lopunny, even with this much bulk invested with me. So if he does run the speed one, he's gonna try revenging Lopunny. Like if he goes for an offensive Crobat, he's gonna try revenging me with his Crobat, and at that point, that might be a problem. I don't have the greatest checks to it, but like if his Darmanitan already went down, then I guess Seismitoad is an okay answer to it, or maybe even Heatran if that's still kicking around. The point is he has a lot of threats, and unfortunately I don't really like to do this, but I did heavily prep for like basically the same team he brought versus me last time. I'm just gonna see how it works out. So this is my team. I haven't gone through a testing period with it yet. I would still very much like to. As of recording, there's a few days in between when I'm recording this and when our actual battle is going to be. But by the time this goes up, the battle will have already happened, and yeah. So this is my team. Hopefully, I do well. The winner of the way the bracket played out. The winner of this plays the winner of Sean versus Matt, two guys I also lost to in the regular season, and the loser of our match also faces the loser of Sean and Matt. So I already off the start of the playoffs, I have some really tough matchups. So this is my team. I'm really hoping this all works up. Yeah. So I mean, this is my team. So again, as of recording, I haven't played the match, but when this does go up, the match will already be done, and hopefully on the next day you'll be able to see my recording of the match. So, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.